Now, okay, now it should be. Can you hear me? Maybe. Okay. Yes. Thank you for the confirmation. So okay. So these were the activities of Unit 2. Did you finish them? Yes. Okay. So I mean, I think that in class we did this activity, which was about the verb to be, also the activity about articles. Did we check this? Yes. Okay. This.
Yes.
Okay. We didn't do the listening, but have you done the listening at home? The one about Maria's routine. Okay. Okay, but you can do it. Okay. I mean, I'm more interested in number 8. Okay. Also number 9 and number 12. Okay. So these are the ones that we can check all together. The rest you can self-correct with the answer key, okay, that they will publish on the platform, because they're not really they're not really problematic. So let us look at number 8, okay, in which we have to choose the correct option, either present simple or continuous. Did you have problems with this activity? A little, okay. So let us read all together. So we have the greetings, the opening salutation, which is "Dear Miss Wilson." What have you written there? Okay, I write or I'm writing to apply for the job of customer advisor. What did you write there, Nuria? I'm writing, okay, because it's always like in the. Are you okay? Or okay, we're in number 2, but not in the theory, in the activities. Okay. Focal. ¿No? Cambio con ahí, con otro. A ver, no se intenta ahora. Pues no lo sé, la verdad. Igual no, no sé.
Dejar un SBS y algún SBS mayúscula y un nombre ya usado en el
Well, you can change computers. I know the course in the morning. I don't know. I mean, now in particular, we're going to check the activities, okay? then yes, then we're going to open the material from the screen, okay? But well, I mean, anyway, you can also have the information here. Okay, so we have, I'm writing to apply for the job of customer advisor as advertised on the website on 13th of March. What did you write in here? Also, the people at home can participate. So this is in the second paragraph. I am numerate or I'm being numerate? Why I'm being? Do you know the meaning of numerate? Sorry? No, it's an adjective. It's an adjective. I am numerate, but do you understand the meaning of numerate? For example, I mean, if you know how to write and read and speak, you're literate. Okay? The people, for example, poor people or people in developing countries do not know how to read and write and speak, okay? So they are illiterate. So this has to do with language, with communication. Numerate is the same skill, but for numbers. So if you have mathematical skills, calculation skills, that means you're numerate. Do you see my point?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're literate, it means that you're good at languages and expressing yourself in a language. When you say numerate, it means that you're able to operate with numbers, not in a very sophisticated way, but at least like the basic operations, the basic mathematical skills. This is something that has to do with your CV, okay? So in the CV, you have skills, language skills, you have mathematical, like numeracy skills, okay? Or you can have computer skills. So this is just like one of your positives in your CV. So I'm numerate. Sorry, I'm not feeling okay. But I have or I'm having good personal skills. I have good personal skills, again, skills, okay? And I'm very interested in banking. I like contact with customers and I'm good at communicating with people. So why don't we use the progressive in I'm liking or I like, I'm liking? Sorry? No, okay, well, okay, this is okay because you can say I like contact. But think of the verb like. Would it be possible to put it in a continuous form? Or the verb to be? Can you use the verb to be in the continuous form, like in the present continuous? Would it be possible? I'm being? And I mean, if so, in what situations? No, but I'm not talking about the passive, but the progressive, the continuous form. Okay. So, for example, let me just, I can write something in here. This, okay? I'm talking about this. So, in what situations could we use this? I'm being. Because normally, all teachers, and we're always being taught, you cannot use be with the continuous. You cannot use like, love, hates. You cannot use them with the continuous. But this is not exactly true, okay? There are some cases in which you could. Which cases? And they are very logical in some way. So, for example, look at this example. Claudia is being very sociable today. Do you see the meaning of that? It's not Claudia is sociable. No, that's like a general feature. So if you say Claudia is sociable, she's always sociable. It's her nature, it's her personality. However, if you say Claudia is being very sociable today, that means something temporary, not permanent but temporary. So every time that you want to speak about a situation which is temporary, which is like something in the short, for a limited time, for a short period of time, you can use the progressive form. So be can be used in the continuous form when it means behave. Okay, so Claudia is being very sociable, gives information about behavior, about her behavior in a particular situation. Okay, so we're done with the first one. And what about the second one? I'm liking. Look, are you familiar? I mean, does it sound familiar? This kind of slogan? I'm loving it. Yes, that's the slogan or the ad from McDonald's. Many people will think that this is incorrect English, but it's not. Okay, it's not incorrect. It's not incorrect. Again, this is a matter of a permanent versus something more temporary. For example, imagine that I'm celebrating my, I don't know, like my birthday party or something like that, and I organize a reception, and then I go table by table. And I say, okay, are you liking the party? Okay, and people say, well, I'm loving it. I'm loving the party. So it's like, are you liking at this particular moment? Are you liking the party? So it's not like, do you like parties in general? No, maybe, okay, we all like parties. Are you liking is something like, are you enjoying? Okay, so when like um, or love means enjoy, like enjoy a particular event or moment, then you can use the continuum. I mean, can you more or less see properly, or because I'm okay? I can write this somewhere else. Uh, for example, in a blank document. Okay, something like in here. And also when you speak about changing situations. Okay, so for example, imagine that I say, well, when I started to learn English, I didn't like the grammar, but I mean, I'm liking it more and more now. Okay, so when you have, because normally likes and dislikes do not change. Okay, they do not really change, but when they do, then you can use the progressive form. Is that clear? Okay. However, in these cases, I am being numerator. I'm liking contact is not possible. Okay, so in the third paragraph, as you can see from my CV, I studied economics at school, and now what? I'm studying continues for a diploma in business studies. I think this gives me a good background for the job. Can we use think in the continuous form? Not in here, okay? Because I think means I believe, okay? However, you can also say I'm thinking when you refer to the mental activity. So you say, well, I'm thinking about a holiday to Brazil, okay, which is, okay, I'm thinking. It connotes mental activity. It's not something like I think, which is, okay, this is my opinion. So there are some verbs that can be, depending whether it's simple or continuous, their meaning change. Okay, so I currently work or I'm currently working? I'm currently working. Do you know any of currently? Can you give a synonym for currently? Sorry? Not exactly, not exactly. It means now, okay? At present or presently, something like that. So it means actualmente, okay? Que no es actually. So currently es actualmente. Actually is en efecto, en realidad, something, okay? So it's a false friend, so be careful with that. So, okay, so I'm currently working part-time in a bookshop, so I have experience of dealing with customers and handling money. Every day I prepare the cash balance when we close the shop. Presently, during the holiday period, I am also helping my uncle with his accounts on the computer because it's presently, so it's just now. Any questions about that? Okay, if not, we can continue. Okay, so let's move on to number 9. In number 9, the important thing is the verbs and the combination. Okay, the verb combinations with prepositions. There is one which is important, which is responsible, because somebody asked me in the forum and put a message on the forum about the difference between responsible to and responsible for. Are you okay with the difference between these two? Responsible for and responsible to. Okay, so what is the meaning of responsible for? Okay, so it always means of a if you look at this table here, at this diagram, the people in the highest positions are responsible for the people in the lower, in this lower grade, let's say, okay? So this is a matter of scale, of hierarchical, say, organization. So, for example, Richard, when you talk about Richard, who is a hotel manager, is responsible for Nelson, Brenda, and Melanie. Okay? And then, if you speak if you want to express the other direction, then you use responsible to. So you say Nelson, Brenda, and Melanie are responsible to Richard. So they have to, they are accountable to Richard. So it's a matter of the direction. So they're both, responsible for, responsible to are exactly like the same relationship, but in a different direction. And then also, responsible for can be combined with a verb in the ing form. So for example, if you say, I'm responsible for processing orders, okay? That's not really, so that's talking about your responsibilities or your duties at work. I hope this is clear enough. Is it? Yes? Okay. So what is the correct answer in A? It's a small company. There are only 15 of us, and I'm responsible for answering. So in English, responsible of is not possible. So you can have responsible for or responsible to, but never of. Never ever, okay? What about B? I've been working at Dell Computers for 2 years. I'm specialized or I specialize in examining international contracts. So the first or second option? Second option. In English, it's not passive, it's active. Okay, so I specialize in examining international contracts to make sure they comply with the law. C, I'm in charge of. Here it is of. okay, of the small team of workers in the Jaguar car plant. We work on the engine assembly line. D. Remploy is a company that employs disabled people, i.e. deal with the media, because we have the preposition with. Okay, you can also say I handle, but with no with. So if you take out with, then you can say I handle. So I handle the media. I deal with the media. Okay, well, better deal with in this case. Okay. E. I'm quite independent, and I. What preposition goes with depend? It goes with on, but here we have to, so it has to be the other one. Report to the managing director. I mean, this is just like there's nothing in particular to be explained. It's just memory, okay? In this case, okay, because sometimes there is not any rule. You can have grammar rules or you can have some hints, okay, but nothing here. It's just like a fixed combination. So I'm involved in making sure the company's activities have a positive impact on the environment. Okay, F. I work for a specialist garage. We repair and restore old vintage models like Rolls-Royce and Bugatti. And finally, G. My duties are to recruit staff at all levels across the firm. I work directly in the manager. Not really. Under the manager, okay? You work under the manager and support him in all projects relating to training and career development. And what are the professions then? Okay, so A is a personal assistant. What about B? But what is the job? So for B? Is. But what do you mean by D? So legal advisor, okay? A legal advisor. So A is a personal assistant. B is the description of a legal advisor. C is the description of whom? Of the production foreman. Okay, do you know me a foreman? Foreman. Capataz. Okay, the foreman. Then D, Remploy. Remploy is a company that employs disabled people. I deal with the media. So if you deal with the media, you're the press officer. Press means media. E, I'm quite independent. I report to the managing director. I'm involved in making sure the company's activities have a positive impact in the environment. So what job has to do with environmental issues? Not the human resources officer. Head of sustainable development. Sustainable development. So F, I work for a specialist garage, a mechanic, a car mechanic, and finally G is the last one, which is the human resources officer. Okay, so let's move on to 12 now. I mean, you can check the rest from the platform when I publish the answers. So complete with a preposition. only if necessary. So good. What was your name? Sorry.
Tony.
Antonio. Okay. So could you please read the first one? So we're gonna do one each. At least the people who are here in class. Okay. So the people at home can listen to them. So Antonio, could you please do one?
Melanie is.
No, I mean we're here in 12.
Okay.
Okay. So we're moving. We're skipping some sections.
In the marketing.
Sorry.
I hate.
Head. Okay. I had.
I had in.
It's not in. What preposition, if any? Not of.
The.
No preposition.
No.
No preposition. So I had the marketing department, which is something like I supervise. So I manage, more or less. Okay. I head the marketing department means that you're the manager of that department. Okay. It's a verb. It's a verb here. It's not a noun. It's something like encabezar, more or less. Okay. But this would be a very free translation. ¿No? Encabezo el departamento de marketing. Encabezo in the sense of I am the manager. Okay. So this is not a noun. It's a verb. Is this clear or yeah?
And it's used when you say I have the marketing only.
Only, yes.
It's better than manager.
No, I mean you can say it's just a synonym. It's just a synonym. So this, I mean, if you want to use head as a noun, you could say I'm the head of the marketing department, like head in capital letter. Okay, but this is a verb. You know that, I mean, English is very flexible with nouns, nouns being verbs and verbs becoming nouns, and so it's like, I don't know, like think of especially the new technologies. Okay, when you say email is a noun, but it's also a verb. So you can say email me. Email me when you have the information. So email me means send me an email. Okay. Or just for example, I don't know. Do you know the meaning? What the meaning of text? It's about the new technologies. I'm talking about technologies. Texts are SMS. Okay. Yes. So, for example, you could say something like, "Could you text me when you arrive?" Okay. Which means, could you send me a text message? So English is very is very prone to transform nouns into verbs. Text me, okay, or text me, okay, which means send me a text message. Or email me, okay. For example, okay, could you please email me the invoice? Which means, could you please send me the invoice by email? So instead of saying send something by email, you say email me. Or send something by text message, you say text. So something like that. Okay, so number 2, Nuria, could you please read number 2? Very good, okay. I report directly to Mr. Baker himself. Elena, number 3.
Nothing. I look.
We do need something.
Yes. I
Yes.
look at the
Not at, because it's more. Anybody here in the platform has any ideas? Not to, because look to means something like to investigate a problem. This is look to, okay? After, okay? I look after, okay? Well, there are more phrasal verbs with look, like look up or look for as well. Look for, after, which means to care for. Okay, number 4, Antonio. Ideal. I mean, we saw this example, well, this verb in the previous activity. And which was the preposition? With. Okay. I deal with all the major aspects of the company's marketing strategies. These are like tratar con, okay? Trato con los aspectos fundamentales, something like that, okay? To deal with. Number 5, Nuria.
nothing.
How can you say nothing? Listen. So if I say listen to a conversation, so listen carefully to what our customers say. Okay. Sorry.
It's complicated. I listen to what?
I listen carefully to what our customers say. I mean, don't emphasize what, okay? Because it's not like a question here. So it's just like a relative, what our customers say. I handle nothing, okay? I handle one of or 2 of the major accounts. Antonio, I'm working. Very sorry for the cough, but I'm working, sorry? In a very important account. Good. We carry something market surveys regularly. Sorry? Not at, but okay, there is one letter that is correct. We carry out. We carry out market surveys regularly. To carry out means to perform or to conduct. Okay. For example, to carry out an experiment. Okay, that means to conduct an experiment. Or to carry out a questionnaire. Okay. Something like that. More efectuar or something like that. And finally, number 9, I'm also involved in one of or 2 of Mr. Morgan's projects. Okay, any problems with this? Many problems. Why? I mean, Unit 2, the most difficult point in Unit 2 is this section, okay, of prepositions, of verb and preposition combinations, okay, and then this kind of responsible to, responsible for, okay, but the rest is just like the terminology of the company and the articles and the present simple and continuous, okay. So we close Unit 2 and move on to Unit 3, okay? So this is the booklet. Have you had any problems with the with the information? So this section, this unit is called commercial English for commercial transactions, okay? And we have some, not all of them, okay, but some of the typical situations in which there is a commercial, a business transaction involved. For example, English in a hotel, English in a shop, and finally, especially for you, English for finance and banking, okay, which is the financial vocabulary in English. Then we have demonstratives, comparatives, comparative and superlative, because I mean sometimes, especially, I mean when a product is involved or when shopping is involved, we need to compare products. And finally, past simple and continuous. Did you have any problems with these sections or with this vocabulary?
Wow. What do you think? Wow. I'm sorry. It's sort of lukewarm, solidified chunks of crap.
Oh, that was happening that one.
It must be freaking embarrassing.
So let's open the please go to the platform, okay? And I'm just going to open the activities now here. Are they available already? Yes. Okay. So could you please open the file? Today, I'm very sorry, but I mean because it was late, so I didn't have time to prepare the written copies. Okay, but we can do the activity in here. So it's not like that thing. Okay. So let's look at number one. Let's do number one together, and then I can give you a few minutes to do number two on your own. Okay. So this is vocabulary in a hotel. You know that in a hotel you have different meal plans. Okay. So sometimes you have I mean lunch and dinner and breakfast. So this is what you have to learn to work out in this section. Okay. So how do we call these plans in English? So for example, in A, accommodation plus morning meal. Sorry? Bed and breakfasts. Okay, let me just bed and breakfast, or B and B. Be careful because B and B, I mean, or bed and breakfast, is two things. This is one meaning in a way, okay? Which is the name of the plan, the name of the meal plan. But also bed and breakfast is in itself an accommodation facility, okay? Which is a guest house, more or less, okay? So typical in Britain, in England, yes, and typical in England, but very popular in other countries now because of the influence, okay? So, I mean, for example, if you go to Italy, okay, there are some bed and breakfasts. Even now here, if you go to the capital, if you go to Madrid, and there are some kind of new bed and breakfast style facilities. Okay, so a bed and breakfast is also called, or it's similar to a guest house. Do you know what the meaning of this is? Nuria and Antonio? Guest house all together, yes. Oh, sometimes in English it doesn't matter if you write it separately or not, but the way I've seen it is together. Okay, guest house. Do you know, Antonio and Nuria, what a guest house is? Do you know the meaning of guest? Guest. Sorry? Yes, more or less. Especially, I mean, guest is in a hotel. So the customer in a hotel is called guest. And also in a restaurant. Okay, like restaurant guests. So they are son como comensales, something like that. Okay, so guest house. As well, if you have visitors at home, they are called guests. Okay, so I mean, imagine that you have visitors, you have your family coming or something. They are guests, and you're the host. You're the host, but they are guests. Okay, so there's always, every time there is a guest, there is a host. Guest is the visitor, and host is the person who gives accommodation and food. Okay, anfitrión. Also, for example, I mean, host and hostess is the feminine. That's why you have an air hostess, azafata, a conference hostess, azafata de congreso, something like that. Also, you can also have the occupation of a restaurant host or a restaurant hostess. I think I also, creo que ya lo dije, I can remember. But if you go to a kind of American style restaurant, sometimes the first person to, I mean, that you see is a kind of host, is a kind of receptionist, but in a restaurant. Okay, so a host is always a kind of receptionist. We tend to associate receptionists with the hotel, but there are many hosts in many other places. So a guest house is more or less what we, well, in a very free way, we could translate guest house as pensión, more or less. It's not exactly the same, okay? Because the concept, el tema es que el concepto de pensión no existe. I mean, there are like hostels or hostels, like the youth hostel, como albergue o hostal, okay? But not really, no sé, el concepto de pensión como que no hay ninguna palabra en inglés para decirlo. Igual que no hay que, en inglés hay guest house o B&B, tampoco en español habría ninguna forma de decirlo. Entonces es como, aunque tienen algunas similitudes, el guest house y una pensión, por ejemplo, it's run by a family, a veces una pensión pues la lleva a lo mejor una familia, es un edificio y vive la familia allí y tienen algunas... Pero no es exactamente lo mismo, ¿no? Son como conceptos que en cada cultura existen. But anyway, I mean, the thing is that you understand. So, for example, for backpackers, yes. So, good. So then, B, accommodation. So how do you call this kind of plan? I mean, normally, you can say something like room only, okay? Or accommodation only, something like that, room only. Then evening meal, room. This is like in the order of, so evening meal, room, morning meal, midday meal, snacks and drinks. So this is all, be careful, okay? All inclusive, but not included. Inclusive. Or all in. All in.
Only is festival.
Sorry?
What is?
Is sorry.
in poker.
In poke. I didn't know. Okay. Yes. All in. Yeah. So you're betting all your money. When you're betting, apostar. Okay. All in. Okay. It's like all in or all inside or something like that. Okay. What about D? Dinner, accommodation, and breakfast. Okay. And how do you say that in English? Not middle. Half. Okay. Half. Board. Board. I mean, board has many meanings in English. Okay. But here, for example, board means exactly that, accommodation. So to board means to give accommodation and food. For example, if you study in a boarding school, okay, I'm gonna write it here, but lo voy a escribir aquí, pero no es solo para escribir, okay. A boarding school es un internado, okay. So boarding, because they give you food, well, accommodation and food, well, and classes as well. So board. And finally, dinner, bed, breakfast, and lunch, usually with no drinks, or sometimes with water and wine, is what? Okay. Yeah. So it's more than half board, but less than all inclusive. So it's full board. Full board. Pensión completa. Because all inclusive is more. Like full board is just okay. The bed, the room, and then the meals of the day. But no extras, okay? If you want to have a cocktail, or or if you want to have a hamburger in the pool bar, this is not possible, okay? Usually, kind of more beach resorts can offer all-inclusive, but city hotels offer full board because they don't have like these kind of facilities, okay? So, okay. So now, let us look at number 2. I'm going to give you a few minutes, okay, to complete the activity. So you have to look at the receipts. These are receipts, okay, of 2 shops, okay? A shoe shop, yes, and this is the Blackberry Grill. This is a kind of steakhouse, okay? Una steakhouse. Kind of como una churrasquería, okay? Steakhouse. In English, when you want to say, when you have like a restaurant which specializes in something, you use the word house. So for example, if you say a tea house, okay, is also a tea room, okay? A tea house, como tetería or salón de té. So it's specializing in teas. Or a coffee house, okay? So not like a coffee shop or a coffee bar in general, a coffee house. So they specialize in coffee. You see what I mean? So it's not like any cafe, which is a kind of bar in a way. So steakhouse, churrasqueria, that kind of thing. Okay, good. So these are the receipts. They have vocabulary, and here you have the definitions. Okay. So could you try and please, connect? So you have to find the words in the receipts. Okay. So for example, the money that you receive from a shop assistant with your receipt. So this is the change, which is in here, okay, the change. So you can have a few minutes, okay, like 2 or 3 minutes to complete the thing. Sí. Sí. Es que no, pero eso suele estar programado al final. Depende, lo que pasa es que tiene que pedir permiso todo el curso de inglés, o sea, todo, ya. Normalmente se hace así y además siempre el curso de inglés va al último, antes de la práctica. Y menos cuando hay algún problema, que entonces, pues, por ejemplo, fue mi caso el año pasado, que no era el tuyo, sino era el otro, como el profesor fue en mitad de, bueno, pero tengo que trabajar en otro sitio y probar en otro lado, entonces voy a buscarlo, mira, eso es dejante, no sé qué, te importa, y voy antes de el segundo, o sea, todavía no había estudiado nada de logística. Pero tienen que pedir permiso a hacer esas modificaciones y eso como dicen de ponerlo como que sea. Tienen que pedir permiso sí, para ponerlo de esa forma, porque si no ellos tienen que seguir el orden estándar, que es el que estipula el BOE. Okay, so let us look at the. Have you finished or Antonio, Nuria? Okay. So let us read. So the money that you pay to the government, how do we call this? Okay, so tax or sales tax or GST as well. And do you know the meaning of GST? This is an abbreviation.
Government.
Not government. It could sound logical, but it's not government. It's goods
Okay.
and services tax. Okay. Sorry.
Comería a los días,
Yes.
vamos.
Bienes, impuestos sobre bienes y servicios, something like that. Okay. Goods and services. Okay. Then the cost of an item before tax
Right.
is the price. Is the price. For example, in English, you have what we call the retail price, which is el PVP, se dice aquí, ¿no? El precio de venta al público, the retail price. Retail means por menor, okay? Retail price. And how do we say por mayor? Because this is retail. For example, I mean retailer, like a retail shop, es una tienda normal, una tienda al por menor, retail shop. And wholesale is the, okay, when you go to the factory, for example, and buy, when you go to the production plant and buy things from there or something, okay, or from the warehouse, the wholesale. Also called cash and carry, especially in British English, okay? Cash and carry is more British. I know there is a company, or they call cash and carry, but they've taken the name from this. Good. So the next, the amount that you save off of the regular price. A discount, good. The money that you give for good service, tip. And money that includes tax, discounts, and the price is the total. The total. Sometimes in an invoice, we have the subtotal and then the total, which is also called the grand total. The grand total. Okay? Grand is exactly the same, especially when you have like the subtotal and the grand total. I don't know if there is any translation for that in Spanish, but because I'm not an expert. So, okay, so choose a title for each set of expressions. So here you have a blackboard, okay, with some expressions, and you have to find the categories. So, for example, expressions for talking about the bill. So, get a discount, leave a tip, with tax or without tax, and come to a total. It's just like an expression. When you say, okay, well, your order comes to a total of £300. Well, asciende un total, okay, come to a total. So we have these headings, these categories, complementing, comparing prices, talking about size, and these are the sets of expressions. You have to match them, okay? Like the functions and the language expressions. Let's try. Have you finished? Or are you... Okay, so you're using it too. Okay. Are you copying the information with you? Are you copying? You're copying everything.
Así se me quedan las palabras.
Okay. Okay, so let's have a look together. Okay, so here there is some vocabulary that may be new. Okay. So here we have below this. Okay, so let's go in this direction. So expensive, cheap, reasonable, and then $12 for a shirt. What's that? Talking about prices, okay? So when you talk about prices, you can say, okay, that's cheap, that's expensive, or that's reasonable. Something like in the middle. Then it fits, it's too tight, it's too big. Talking about size, okay. Do you know the sizes in English? Sorry? The sizes, okay. You have like the abbreviation, okay. Large, so you have small, medium, and large, and then you have the extra, okay, like extra large, extra large, extra small, or so this is like XL means extra. Okay, so it fits. What is the meaning of it? It fits. It fits. Okay, it's like it is correct. It's the correct size. It's the correct size. It's too tight. It's too tight means that it's too small, okay, for your body, and it's too big means that it's too baggy, okay. So when we have it's tight, which means it's small for your body, it fits, so it's the correct size, and it's baggy, okay, or it's loose, which means that it's too big. Sorry, it's too big. So these are like the three possibilities. For example, have you seen The Lord of the Rings? The Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
You have Frodo, and then there is Bilbo. Okay, what's the family name of Bilbo? Bilbo. I don't know if Frodo has a surname. I can't remember. But then we have, do you remember Bilbo? Bilbo Bolsón. Can you remember? Okay. This is, in English, it's Bilbo Baggins. It's similar, okay? It's like a game of words, Baggins. Como al español lo han traducido, ¿no? En vez de decir Bilbo Baggins, que no significaría nada, ponen Bilbo Bolsón, que es como que se le queda la ropa, no sé. Anyway, de todas formas, baggy se utiliza en las tiendas de ropa para decir eso, ¿no? Que te queda muy holgado, baggy, como... I can't remember, no sé cómo sería en español la otra palabra, baggy. Sorry? Baggy. For example, I don't know, your trousers can be kind of baggy. Como sueltos o muy bolsones, no sé, I don't know how to say that. Well, some people think that it's fashionable to have like baggy trousers or, but anyway, I think that these kind of trousers, I'm not really sure, okay, but check this in the dictionary, pantaloons. Creo que esos son pantalones, un tipo de pantalones que son, yo no sé cómo se llama, babuchos o alguna cosa. I can't remember. But anyway, da igual. Okay, good. Good. So it's important to note, okay, that this section is about size, okay? And what about this? It looks good on you, it suits you, it matches your shirt, it goes with your pants. Complimenting, you know what I mean of complimenting? It's like to say beautiful things about a person. So when you say, for example, it looks good on you, so you have to make a difference between it fits, which is your size, and it looks good on you, which is more about beauty or more like in a subjective or yes, and the other thing is like your subjective perception of your aesthetic perception, okay, of the clothes. It looks good on you or it suits you, which means that like it makes you beautiful, okay, it suits you. And then you have it matches your shirt, okay, so it's good, there is a good combination, okay, and it goes well with your pants. Okay, well, this is American English, so pants means trousers, okay, because pants in British English is underwear. O sea, eso es americano porque pants significa calzoncillos. Pero aquí en americano significa pantalones, okay? So, pants. Okay, so here, so that's $5, or you said $5, right? What's that? What function is that? Confirming prices. Cheaper than, not as warm as, more comfortable, comparing. So these are comparatives. How much is it, or how would you like to pay for it? Asking about prices. And finally, pay with cash, write a check, put it on a credit card. Methods of payment as well. This is American English because you have the word check written in this way, okay? In British English, check is written like in Spanish, check, okay? Good. So let's move on to What's the time? Oh, I wanted to do the comparatives, okay? Yes, okay, well, let's do the comparatives here, okay? It's points, yes, point number 3. Oh, I don't know what happens now. Anyway, so activity number 7. So you have 3 products, 3 camping chairs, okay? The camper, the outdoors, and the horizon, and each of them has a different price. These are the characteristics like the color and the weight, and this is a description, okay? So you have to choose the correct words, okay? So go ahead. So sometimes it's comparative and sometimes superlative. Ese hace mucho ruido, o sea que casi mejor que un este, creo. Porque ese a la compañera se la apagó el otro día, además suena mucho. Sí, no, seguro. Sí. A ver si. Bueno, voy a pasar la lista. 22. So here we have Beatriz, Antonio, have you finished? Yes. So let's look at this. So Super Sports sells 3 lines of camping chairs. The camper is, let's start with Antonio if you like.
Is cheaper.
The camper is the, so look, with the, it's the superlative, okay? So is the, but not with most, because cheap is like is a 1 syllable word, so it's cheaper. So it's not cheaper, cheapest is the cheapest, okay? The camper is the cheapest at $29, while the Horizon is the Nuria, most expensive at $59. Then at $39, the Outdoors is a mid-price model and is the Lena, most popular of the 3 chairs. So all of them were superlatives. And now it is, Antonio,
More comfortable.
very good. It is more comfortable than the camper. So it's not a superlative, it's a comparative, because you're comparing 1 and 1, okay? Not 1 and many, but 1 and 1. So it's more comfortable than the camper, and there is a Nuria, better, not bitter, which means amargo, okay? Como el bitter cash. This is not bitter, it's better. So it has a better, there is a better choice of colors. Sorry, Elena, the Outdoors
Is also the light
test chair, the lightest chair.
and is easier to carry than the
Horizon, okay? So the lightest, this and easy. So let me just, if you like, so the cheapest, the most expensive here, the most popular of the 3 chairs, more comfortable because we have than, okay? So that's why, and then better. So these are the answers. Did you have everything okay? Yeah? Okay. So, and now to finish, let's do, well, for homework, you have to complete the rest of the activities, okay, for next week, because next week we will do, okay, so we will finish this, the activities, and we will do Unit 4. And then there will be an exam the week after, okay? Units 2, 3, and 4, okay? So the exam is in 2 weeks' time. Sorry? 3 chapters, yes. 3 units. 3 units. So, yeah, 3 units or 3 chapters or 3 sections. So Unit 1, the first exam was Unit 1, okay? And the second exam is 20% of the other mark, okay? 20, but it has 3 units. Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. And finally, Unit 5 and 6 are for the final exam. And it weighs more, okay? Because it's a little bit more complex. But anyway, so now let's do the listening. So this is a listening. Here about methods of payment, okay? So for the people who are in the platform, you have the listening track in here, here, okay? Listening audio tracks.
Unit 25. How would you like to pay?
Okay, good. So here we have to do 2 things. So let's try to do the 2 things at the same time. Or maybe you can concentrate on B, okay? True or false. And in A, you just need to copy the method of payment, okay? So there are 4 conversations. You have to identify the method of payment in each conversation. For example, I don't know, check, credit card, cash, direct debit, or whatever, okay? And then also say if the statements are true or false. So there are 4 sentences, 1 for each situation. So in the first situation, Mr. Badel is paying for his room and means only, true or false. The second situation, the hotel vouchers, you know the meaning of voucher, do you remember? Okay, it's like coupon, okay, are for the room and breakfast. Miss Cole is paying for her bar bill and hotel bill separately, the hotel bill and the bar bill. And finally, Mr. Popovich gives the cashier the correct money, true and false. So not only true and false, but also this. So true and false, and then I remember the method of payment in each situation. Okay, so let's listen.
1. The invoice for your room and meals goes directly to your company?
Yes, that's right.
So here's your bill for the extras. How are you paying, Mr. Badel?
With MasterCard.
2.
Your hotel vouchers are for room and breakfast, Mr. Franks. Your bill for the other meals and drinks comes to $230. How would you like to pay?
With US dollar traveler's checks, please.
3.
Can I pay my bar bill separately, please? Yes, certainly, Ms. Cole. I'll pay by credit card. Do you take Visa? Yes, Visa is fine.
4. That's £17.50 altogether, Mr. Popovich. How would you like to pay? In cash, please. Here you are. £20. 1 moment, and I'll get your change. No, that's all right. Keep the change. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, second and last time.
Unit 25. How would you like to pay? 1. The invoice for your room and meals goes directly to your company?
Yes, that's right.
So here's your bill for the extras. How are you paying, Mr. Bedell?
With MasterCard.
2.
Your hotel vouchers are for room and breakfast, Mr. Franks. Your bill for the other meals and drinks comes to $230. How would you like to pay?
With US dollar traveler's checks, please.
3.
Can I pay my bar bill separately, please? Yes, certainly, Miss Cole. I'll pay by credit card. Do you take Visa? Yes, Visa is fine.
4. That's £17.50 altogether, Mr. Popovich. How would you like to pay? In cash, please. Here you are. £20. One moment, and I'll get you a change. No, that's all right. Keep the change. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, have you identified the methods of payment? So what's the method of payment in the first situation? MasterCard, so credit card, in particular MasterCard. In number 2, and which currency? So, because it's not checks, okay? It's traveler's checks, which are different from from a normal check, which is that of a bank, okay? Traveler's checks are for traveling. And what currency? In which currency? Euro, yen, pound, dollars, US. In US dollars, traveler's checks, he says, okay? US dollars, American dollars. And in number 3, credit card. Now it's not MasterCard, but Visa. And finally, in cash. Okay, so Mr. Badell is paying for his room and meals only. True or false?
False.
And why false?
Because pay for room for room.
No.
Company pay.
Okay, the company covers the room and meals, okay? He pays the extras, the mini bar or the parking or whatever, okay? So it's false. What about B? The hotel vouchers are for the room and breakfast. That's true. C, Miss Cole is paying for her bar bill and hotel bill separately. That's true as well. It's true as well. And finally, Mr. Popovich gives the cashier the correct money.
False.
That's false. And how do we know it's false?
Because he changes.
Well, he leaves the change, okay? So he tells the cashier, okay, keep the change. Keep the change. Okay, they're gonna Gambia. Okay, good. So we're gonna finish now, okay, so that you can have a break. So for next week, you have to complete the rest of the activities. Especially, I mean, this one is easy, but especially we've done this. Concentrate. Well, you have to do everything, but in a very special way. This activity, okay, because it has a lot of financial vocabulary, which is related to your area. Also demonstratives, okay, that's okay, but this one is kind of easy. This is also easy because you just practice the ed or endings or regular or irregular verbs. But this one, okay, this one is important. This is just practice, and this one is important, okay? So, I mean, you have to do everything, but concentrate more carefully in this one, which is present simple. You have to complete with present simple or past simple. This, because it's ago, the possible combinations. and this because it's a leaflet with financial vocabulary. Okay. So, and if you have any questions or something like that, you just let me know, okay, by email or whatever. Okay, so thank you for coming. And well, I'm gonna, Beatriz, Jessica, I'm gonna leave this open for Marcelo, ¿vale? Lo paro ya la grabación.